Since I was a kid, I loved the Godzilla franchise, and even more the Transformer cartoons. And one day, I heard a movie was being produced that had mechas and monsters fight. I was blown away. My little brain couldn't comprehend. I couldn't sleep for weeks, and I was just that excited that I told all my friends I was gonna go watch it. And the day came, I watched the amazing movie called Atlantic Rim. Oh, you thought I was talking about Pacific Rim? Nah, this video is about Atlantic Rim, the most amazing ripoff ever. Atlantic Rim was released almost at the same time as Pacific Rim and produced by the Asylum, a studio who copies movies and just changes a word from the title and publishes. Let me give you an example. 18-Year-Old Virgin is the ripoff of the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Sinister Squad, ripoff of Suicide Squad. But they did contribute something to society, and they made Sharknado. So yeah, and they made a plethora of ripoffs, and it works. They make money from it because they're just bad people. The movie starts off with our boy, oil rig operators. They had an oil spill, but it's not a human error. So a submarine comes and investigate, and at the end, it dies because of a big kaiju. We have some action, but the action is cool. Anyway, the kaiju who attacked the submarine attacks the oil rig and eats it whole. It doesn't attack it, destroy it, or explodes it, despite showed that that there was an explosion. No. Then we have the most realistic shot of a military base known to man. Damn, that's military. Then we see Admiral, but he does spit some facts.
Thing away. You don't need to watch a YouTube video to know that a 40,000 ton rig doesn't vanish out the Gulf of Mexico. You're worse than my grandchildren.
Honestly, the whole YouTube thing that he said, it was so big brain that I couldn't even comprehend what he's saying. So then we enter a room with 5 different people. It's a conference room to talk about the oil rig disappearance. And then of all departments that should be related to a oil rig disappearance is NASA. Yes, the space people, NASA.
Dr. Margaret Adams, Operations Bureau Chief NASA. This is Specialist Stone, sir.
They come to help with the oil rig disappearance. Then we meet our MC, protagonist, and his girlfriend, who are really drunk. If you want to say it in more French accent, say mardi gras. I don't know what the thing is. And then the most basic conflict ever happens, and naturally he wins, and then he goes to the base still drunk in the car.
Yeah, how do you lose an oil rig?
I don't know, but we about to find.
And then our heroes suit up. If you can't tell, it's just diver suits with like red, blue, and green patches attached to it. That's it, nothing else. Honestly, the green, I don't know their names, so I'm gonna name green, blue, or red. Green is the best of them all. He's pretty much the MVP of the movie. Then they enter the bot, not some elaborate name like the Jaeger or something, but just the bot. It's an incredible scheming thing that they have. They drop in the ocean and they get attacked by the kaiju. The admiral says to shut down the bot, so green and blue, they do shut down, but for some reason they have a range to their shut off machine, and red doesn't get shut off and he's out of range, so he follows the kaiju and goes to the beach. Is that Smash Mouth? They even have a Smash Mouth cameo. So the bot and the mouse duke it out, and the red wins. Red gets arrested despite him saving countless millions of lives because he disobeyed the admiral. A man comes up and says, "My daughter's missing. Could you please help me?" The most concerned father of them all. So green, as a man that he is, doesn't search around for a person who's screaming, yelling, just goes into the fire building, finds her, recuperates her, and brings her father. The father had the most incredible reaction. Red, now in prison, is mad because he's like, "Where? That doesn't make any sense. I saved so many people. Why you put me in prison?" So later on, Admiral comes by and says, "I am proud of you. You did great today. And you shall come to a party where you shall shake hands with the politicians and make yourself cool and get a medal. And then you go back to jail." I was getting some conflicted emotions, like being proud and being disappointed. I didn't know what to feel in that scene. Red is like, "Man, fine. I'm gonna go do your party, but you ain't cool." So red and blue goes to the party, but green stays and helps the people who got injured, like the Red Cross. Also, so far in the movie, they hinted that green and blue are like a thing and they like each other, but it comes later. Get it? There's another kaiju, but this time it's hacking the base, the army base where Red is in prison. So blue and green go to rescue Red, but the man with the key to his lock gets crushed by the kaiju. So green does a cool slow-mo montage of him breaking a normal door handle, like you know, the bathroom lock door handle thing that you find anywhere, with a hammer. It takes him like a minute with slow motion times and all that. It was kind of funny. Yes is like a lieutenant who works under the admiral, but also has ties with the president and can also order a nuclear strike. That doesn't make any sense. Honestly, so far I've lost all plot. I'm just watching the movie because it's funny. Like, stuff doesn't make any sense. So Guess wants the admiral to use a whole ass nuke on the kaiju, and the president says, if you want to, it's all good. Admiral Chan says, no, Baka. This bombed the shit out of the kaiju. Not a nuke. Also, red and green and blue escaped in a van, car, SUV. The Cadillac Escalade, or like Yukon, whatever it's called. It's a big ass vehicle. Later on, to celebrate their immaculate success of them beating the kaiju, despite them doing actually nothing and just the government bombing the shit out of the kaiju, and have some drinks. And then Red is like, yeah, we did a great job. Everything's so cool. Green goes, by the way, I hooked up with your girlfriend. We kissed. Red's like, honestly, that's pretty dope. I don't care. All good. I hooked up with my brother's girlfriend so many times. It's all funny and shit. All of them get like a Power Ranger type call on their phones to come back to their base. And because there's another kaiju, but now it's going to New York. And now they have like the Jaeger thing, like the connection neurosystem body connection Neuralink. Before that, they were just using levers and buttons to like punch the kaijus and stuff. Now also, the bots have big ass jetpacks, so they fly from God knows where to New York. I searched up, they filmed it in Florida, so I'm guessing from Florida to New York. They use up like 60% of their fuel, which is really bad engineering. Honestly, NASA, you should have done better. Why would NASA build big ass robots for no reason? Look, in Pacific Rim, they built big robots because big kaijus came. Kaijus came, messed up everything. They're like, okay, big kaijus are destroying everything, so we should make big robots to destroy the kaijus. That makes sense. The kaiju in New York City is really big and scary, like bigger than the two other that they fought. This is the third kaiju. And now, because somehow the operator Chan says, click this button and you have weapons. They have weapons. And so they duke it out with the big kaiju. They get absolutely demolished. Blue bot runs out of fuel, so green bot's like, you know what, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna grab you and I'm gonna land you on some random remote base that they have. Also, the cut from them in the bot and them not in the bot, it hurts my head. It hurts my brain, this movie. Red bot, the main hero, the main protagonist, the MC of the story, intercepts the nuke that was sent by the government to destroy the big kaiju. Yes, somehow he has like an EMP device on him, and he EMP devices the nuke. I feel like in real life, you can't just EMP a nuke. So he has the nuke in his hand, goes, fights the kaiju. So he has this big brain idea to tackle the kaiju, fly him to space, and then obliterate him. So he does. He tackles him, uses all his power to go to space, drop kicks him in space, yeets the nuke on him, and it goes kablooey. Boom, dead. The kaiju died in space. Good. But now we have a dilemma. Red has no fuel, and he is in space. Not so far in space that he stays in space. Far enough that he's on the edge of space, and then he falls back down to Earth. So he does. All the way back. Crash lands on the two other bots, and somehow, miraculously, or plot armor, he survives unscathed. Like, no such thing as a blood streak on his face or anything, just to show that he did some big hero stuff. Nope, survives. Nothing happened. All good. Yeah, that's how the movie ends. They like hug and that's it. For people who just want to see big kaijus fight or like robots, because if you're gonna do that, just watch like Godzilla x Kong. Like, the plot isn't that deep, but it's just funny seeing monkey lizard fight other monkeys. Yeah, this one's just like, it's bad. Just bad. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a coherent timeline. Stuff doesn't make any sense. Why would NASA have robots? Why and how? How does he survive such a fall? And also, where does the kaiju come from? Why is he there? Like, why is there only 3 kaijus and that's it? 3 kaijus later, they're like, yeah, honestly, I don't feel like kaijuing anymore. I'm just gonna go back. I'm just gonna vanish. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this shitty review of a shitty movie. You know, minus adds up to a plus. you know, anyway, goodbye. While recording this, I was doing some more research on Atlantic Rim, and just like Pacific Rim had a sequel, Atlantic Rim has a sequel too. And it's called Atlantic Rim Uprising. Oh my god. They couldn't even be more subtle with this shit. Anyway, I might just wait and make a video on that if this one does good. Anyway, stay tuned for that.